Hello, pipe smokers. Yeah, this is Paul the Pipe Guy, and I felt I should actually revisit this video on pressing tobacco the proper way. Now, what I'm going to do is, well, first of all, it's Tuesday, the 14th of March. Yeah. So you may or may not need, and yes, I'm smoking a cigarette. You may or may not need a calendar like this, which tells you what day it is, because it's very important to keep track of the days, okay? And Miss March definitely agrees, okay? So the reason why you have to keep track of the days is because there's a certain amount of days. Let's put her back up there. They have to press this. So we're going to go through two things, all right? I'm going to actually show you how to make number one. There's two different type of tobacco pressings that I know of. You can take regular loose leaf tobacco, whatever you want, you can press it into what is called a crumble plug. Now, actually, there's three ways. I repeat that. You can press it lightly and make a crumble cake. A crumble cake basically is loose leaf tobacco that is pressed, I would say, under 5 to 750 pounds per square inch. And then, what it does is it marries all the flavors and all that and whatever tobacco that you blended or whatever tobacco that you bought. That's the first stage, okay, is crumble plug. It easily rubs out and all that stuff. Now, the next thing, the second thing, is what I actually thought I coined, but one of my subscribers says, no, there is such a thing as this. It's called crumble plug, which is where you take loose leaf tobacco, all right, whether you blend it yourself or it's a blend that you purchased online or whatever. And what you do is you put it under enormous pressure. I'm talking 1,500 pounds per square inch to 2,000 pounds per square inch in a press that makes crumble plug. Then there's the third method of pressing tobacco, where you actually make true plug tobacco, where you buy the individual leaves, you lay them in whatever manner that you want, and you put them in the press, and then you put them under enormous pressure. I'm talking 1,500 pounds to 2,000 pounds per square inch, and that is true plug tobacco. So you may take this leaf, that leaf, whatever blend you're making, and you put it in the press, and every day, and this stands for all three, whether you're making crumble cake, crumble plug, or actual plug tobacco, you have to put it in the press. Every day you come home and you crank it down a little bit more. So let's review this for a second, okay? Crumble cake is, in my opinion, pressed at 500 to 750 pounds per square inch in the press, all right? And then, every day you come home, you press it a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, but you don't go too far, all right? And then you end up with something that rubs out easy, whatever. And what that does is it takes your blend and it marries the flavors. Now, let's talk about crumble plug. That's where you take loose leaf tobacco, whether you blend it or whether it's a blend that you bought, all right? You put it in the press, which I'm going to show you, but you put it under 1,500 to 2,000 pounds of pressure. That takes a lot longer then you end up with a hockey puck, all right? And then the third one, again, all right, is where you take loose, actually, tobacco leaves, you put them in the press, whatever tobacco leaves you want, maybe 2 leaves of Latakia, 2 leaves of Burley, 2 leaves of this, 2 leaves of that, whatever you want, and you put it in the press, and they're full leaves, they're not cut. And then you put it under extreme pressure again every day coming home, in the morning and at night, all right, and you crank it down until you can't crank it down anymore. That goes for crumble plug and plug tobacco. Plug tobacco is the whole leaf. Crumble plug is, you know, what I described. So in either event, you're going to end up with a nice hockey puck. And I'll show you that. So I'm going to pause the video, and then I'm going to show you the tools that you need. Now, this video might be a little bit long, all right, because Paul the Pipe Guy's a little long-winded, all right? But I have to go through 3 different stages of what I just described to you. I'll be right back in a nanosecond, all right? This is serious stuff. All righty, Paul the Pipe Guy is back, and we're going to show you everything that you need to make crumble cake, crumble plug, and plug tobacco. The first thing you need is a press. All right. This I bought at Harbor Freight. You can buy them wherever you want. That is an 8-inch press, meaning from here to here, it's 8 inches. Excuse me. It's 8 inches long. All right. And this actually compresses the tobacco within the press. I'll give you a demonstration. So you got to have an 8-inch press like that. That's basically just a clamp, okay? All right, that's the first thing that you're going to need. Now, let's revisit some things. The first thing in processing tobacco, all right, I'm going to say it 3 times, is cleanliness. 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 Everything has to be clean and sanitized. Cleanliness. You don't want to be smoking dirt or other tobaccos that you pressed before. Cleanliness, cleanliness. So that means you clean your clamp. The second thing that you're going to need, all right, and again, I'm unprepared. God, it's right in front of me. You need to have PVC pipe. Now, you can buy this at any hardware store. It's 3-inch PVC pipe, okay? And what you have to do is you have to cut it evenly on both ends, all right? We'll take the ruler over here, all right? The pipe smoker like this. That is exactly, actually it's 7.5 inches long. And it is, the outer diameter is 3.5 inches long, but the inner diameter is exactly 3 inches long. When I say inner diameter, that means the from here, the inside to the inside, okay? But it's 7.5 inches long, all right? So go buy some PVC pipe. You got to make sure you wash that out, clean it out after each pressing, all right? That's the second thing that you're going to need, all right? The third thing that you're going to need is you're going to need some old school hockey pucks, all right? Now, I've pressed these before, and then I've re-cleaned them, but look at this, all right? The cool thing is that a regulation hockey puck is exactly 3 inches in diameter, just slightly shy. All right. So with the press, this is how it works. All right. Let's get into the other thing you need. All right. Painter's tape. All right. Painter's tape. Because the hockey pucks, you know what a hockey puck is, all right? I mean, it fits in there exactly perfect. Look at that. All right. But it's just a slight bit shy. So what I do is I wrap a few times around with painter's tape, but I give it a little headspace, all right? In other words, I don't take it all the way up to the end because you don't want that, any glue or anything to get in your backy, all right? So I take 2 of these, all right? Wrap it with painter's tape, all right? Then what I do, the other thing that you're gonna need is wax paper. Yeah, everyone knows what that is, wax paper. And it was upside down, whatever, you get it, all right? Wax paper, all right? So then what you do is you take a little piece of wax paper. After you've, kind of pre-fit this a little bit, that's kind of tight, all right? So then you take wax paper. The wax paper basically does not allow any of the contaminants from the rubber hockey puck official size to get in and affect your tobacco. Plus, it won't allow it to stick. So, all right, so we just kind of wrap it around like this, and we shove it in there, and look at that, we got a nice tight fit, all right? That's the bottom, all right? Now, the other thing that you're gonna need is some tobacco, all right? Now, what we're gonna be pressing is some Z92 vanilla custard cream. Now, this is loose leaf tobacco, okay? Which basically means, and by the way, this is aged March 16th of 2021. So it's almost 2 years aged, all right? And when I say loose leaf, all right, it's loose leaf, all right? In other words, they cut it in ribbon cut, blended it with whatever they want, all right? Now that smells and it tastes great, but I want to marry the flavors better. So I can do one or two things with this. I can make it into a crumble cake, which means I'm going to do 500 to 750 pounds per square inch just by hand. I'm kind of guessing at it. Or I can make it into what's called crumble plug. Now, I do not, for tonight's demonstration, have tobacco leaves where we can make actual plug tobacco. So we can make crumble plug where we only squeeze it down for maybe a day or two, or we can, actually, I take that back. We can make crumble cake, which we only squeeze it down for maybe a day or two, all right? Or we can make crumble plug, which like totally marries the juices. And there's a significant difference in the taste between this loose leaf tobacco. You make crumble cake, all right, easily rubbed out. You make crumble plug. I'll show you what crumble plug looks like. I did some RPG 7, okay? RPG 7, Captain Blood's Revenge, all right? And I pressed this, and that's what I ended up with. A hockey puck that is like, you could hit this across the arena. It is hard as heck, but it marries the juices together just like plug tobacco, all right? Crumble plug only partially marries it. It's easy to rub out. This stuff, you have to, this is called crumble plug, all right? That you have to cut off a piece with a knife and then rub it out The flavors are much more married. It's hard to get out, whatever, of the press. So that's what we have. And then the other thing you have to have, you've got to have the other side of the press. So we have one side of the press here with two hockey pucks here. They're actually 1 inch in diameter, or 1 inch thick. So we have 2 inches here. We have 2 inches here. All right. So if you take 7.5 inches, we're doing our math in my head, okay? 7.5 inches, all right? You take 2 inches off of that. It's 5.5 inches. You take another 2 inches because you're going to put 2 more hockey pucks on this side. And all of a sudden, you go from 7.5 inches to, if my math served me correctly, 7.5 minus 4 would be 3.5 inches. So we're going to pour 3.5 inches of tobacco in here, all right? And actually, you can overdo it a little bit, So the other thing that I learned is that I have these little discs on here. These are stainless steel. All right, I super glued them on there because if you're making crumble cake, that's fine. But if you're making crumble plug or actual plug, all right, the press is going to want to push down through the hockey puck. All right, it's going to want to just press down through it and ruin it. So anyways, we're going to pause the video. We're going to fill everything up. There's one other thing I forgot to tell you that you need, and I'll be right back. This video is going to last like 25 minutes long, but it will be worth it. Trust me. I'll be right back in a nanosecond. Alrighty, Paul Pipe Guy back. All right, so we have our press all set up. You guys and gals know everything that you need. That's totally clean, sanitized. All right. The other thing that you must have, well, you should have, is one of these things that's like a canning thing, so when you go to pour your tobacco in there, all right, instead of trying to get into 3 inches, you got 5 inches, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to pour the tobacco in, all right? Like I said, this is aged Sutliff Z92 vanilla custard, all right? So we're going to pour it in. Yeah. See how nice it goes in? So anyways, to save time, I'm going to fill this up. I'll be right back. All right, and so we're back. So we're filling it up, but as we're doing it, we're pressing it down with our hands, okay? Because basically what you want is you want to kind of pre-do this, all right? So we're pressing it down with our hands, and we still have more to go. Yeah, because you don't want to just fill it up with loose leaf tobacco, and then, you're only going to end up with a puck about 1/4 of an inch or, 10 millimeters thick, all right? So we're going to continue the process, yes, of filling this up with this and the tobacco. Maybe I should show you this. I don't know. Yeah, we will. All right. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue filling it up. Yeah. There we go. This may or may not be enough. tap her down. All right, now you think that it's full, all right, but it's really not full, all right? So press it down with your hands, just like so, all right? Because we're going to end up with a good crumble plug here. You got to make sure that you hold your hand under here so the bottom doesn't fall out. All right. And so there you go. All right. I pressed it down with my hands as far as it'll go. There's still room. All right. So we'll be right back. Alrighty, so we've pressed it down with our hands. We've filled it up with this so it doesn't spill all over, all right? Keep your hand underneath these two hockey pucks. I pressed it down by hand as hard as I can. I've got about 2.5 inches of headroom in there, meaning it's about there's about 2 inches of headroom in there. So next, what we're going to do, not lastly, but whatever. All right, we're going to take another piece of, make sure you wrap this, the painter's tape around there, and the wax paper is very important because you don't want to contaminate your tobacco with rubber, okay? So we kind of wrap that around there, and we push it in there. Ooh. Yeah, and look at that. It's filled up from top to bottom, okay? Hand compress, and then, so then what we do is we take our discs and so forth, and now here's the fun part, all right? Yeah, getting this clamp on, all right? I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna get the clamp on, and you can figure it out for yourself. We'll be right back. Alrighty, pipe smokers. So I messed around with this. The one thing that you have to be sure of is that the bottom of the clamp is dead center, and the top of the clamp is dead center. Now you can see I've already pressed this down. I'm going to guess 2.5 inches. All right. So I'm going to let that sit. All right, now tomorrow morning when I get up, I'm going to crank it down some more. All right. When I get home tomorrow night, I'm going to crank it down some more. Now, what happens if you don't keep this end of the press and that end of the press exactly centered? You're not going to end up with a perfect hockey puck of either crumble cake, crumble plug, or plug tobacco. You'll end up with it like kind of sideways, all right? So you have to make sure that you do that. I know this video was long, but I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to show you the final results, and I hope you all enjoyed it. All right, I'll be right back in a nanosecond, and I'll show you the final results of my last pressing. I'll be right back. All righty, pipe smokers. I know this video's it's been long, but now the reward. All right, you saw all the tools that you needed. You saw it pressing. There was stages 1, crumble cake, 500 to 750 pounds per square inch. All right. Number 2 is crumble plug, which is 2,000 pounds per square inch. in my estimation. And number 3 is when you take leaves and you make actual plug tobacco. Now, this is my own blend. This one was blended on 2/23 of 2022, which makes it about a year old when I blended it. And it was pressed on 12/12 of 2000. Wait. No, I take that back. It was blended 2/23 of 2021. All right. I blended my own blend. All right. Latakia Rich. And then I pressed it on 12/12 of 2022, which was about, I don't know, you do the math, all right? Whatever, what was it, 10 months later? And this is called RPG number 7, made by Paul Gilson, RPG number 7. Captain Blood's Revenge. All right. And so what we ended up with, I showed you what I'm blending, pressing now, but what we ended up with was a hockey puck. All right. And this hockey puck, all right, I did the same thing. I'm looking for my ruler. It doesn't. What the fuck? I don't know. It's about an inch thick, a hockey puck. The other thing that you have to have, and guess what? All right. RPG number 7, Captain Blood's Revenge. All right. After you press it, you have to have a double lock freezer bag. You place it in there. All right. Now you can see where I cut it off. All right. That is crumble plug. That is hard as a hockey puck. All right. So then after I'm done with that, the whole thing, I put it in there and then I squeeze all the air out of it, Ziploc it up. And guess what? If you've got an empty tin or whatever, like this one right here, I get an empty tin. It perfectly fits in there, just like that, all right? So the bag keeps it moist, whatever. I mean, you can take a hockey puck. Look at that. It fits right in there, all right? Now, the reward, and we'll be right back. So I have a hockey puck of RPG number 7, Captain Blood's Revenge. All right. That's crumble plug. I'll be right back. And you'll see the reward. All right, pipe smokers. So we're back, So I want to share with you, that's a piece of the crumble plug that I cut off. And I want to show you how easy it is to rub out. All right. Now that's at 2,000 PSI, meaning pounds per square inch. All right. So you take your time, you rub it out. All right. Just like that. I rub it out on a cutting board. You got to make sure you spend your time. You've done all this work and all that stuff, done everything, you've pressed it, you've aged it, all right. Now you end up with crumble plug. That's perfectly married, okay? Yeah. Now the reward, all right? Now we have a Rat Ray's Hail to the King. Yeah, look at that briar. Oh my God. Look at that briar. That's a bowl number 37, Rat Ray's Hail to the King. That don't come cheap. All right. Here's the reward. I already did the Charlie. Mm. Oh. Mm. Instant gratification. Mm. Oh, this RPG number 7, which I will tell you is Latakia rich. It's 75% Latakia. I won't tell you what else is in it. Mm. Oh, out of Rat Rays, Hail to the King. Bull number, I believe I said 37. Pipe Smoker turned me on to this. Mm. Anyway, stay smoky, my friends. I hope you found this long-winded video rewarding. I'm Paul the Pipe Guy, live from the outskirts of Rochester, New York, in the United States of America. Over and out.